I remember feeling for the first and only time in my life as a member of an absolutely elite society in a good surrounding, the fact that it's very difficult to sing when you're hungry. It is very difficult to concentrate. Was not so, not with the Requiem. There was I don't know, all empowering feeling that came with the music. As we sang the music, we produced this music, we reproduced this music. There was something that we became that music. And I remember one thing, which is maybe taken too early, because it happened later on. When later in my life, things became totally intolerable. Some of them were my age, and some were actually, I was about, I had turned 19. I was 18 when I came to the ghetto, and now I was 19. There were some 15-year-olds too. And the personality of Rafi was something so powerful that even before he said anything, you knew that you were in the presence of a very strong human being who was going to do things and who was going to go places. And also his personality demanded absolute, I don't know what you would call it, obedience. He didn't say anything, don't do this, do that, but I had a feeling, no, I'm not going to, before he even said anything. And then he let us repeat some very simple melodies he played on the harmonium, one after the other. And as far as originally, I was part of this.
Let's talk about some various sections of the Requiem, and maybe some particular recollections you may have of those. If I say to you, for example, Sanctus.
Sanctus, Sanctus, Sanctus. Well, I hear the chorus. I hear that they started behind me. It happened yesterday.
And is there a particular feeling that you get when you recall the Sanctus?
Yes, there's joy, absolute joy. I want to praise also. I can chime in. I'm so glad. I'm waiting for my mom.
To what we were told originally, to come to a ghetto. A ghetto, we understood, is a place to hold people in whom we don't want to escape from you, but this was a feeling of being imprisoned. And this musician, by name Raphael Schechter, understood the impact on the human mind of being a prisoner, and he started immediately to his part of what he understood would be helpful to increase the spiritual uplifting of those prisoners by enticing them to sing after they performed their daily work. And not only was this a period of forgetting the reality of your current situation, it was a strengthening of but for instance the Sanctus by its own fugue setup and fortissimo is spiritually uplifting. It's not the vengeance that you feel, but it makes you feel differently, but differently good.
Mhm. The performances were accompanied by sometimes one, sometimes two pianists. And it's very difficult to replicate the full sound of Verdi's orchestra on the...
Among the youngest people in the group, I'm sure the people who were 4 or 5 years older than we had a much better understanding. And we just knew that they were trying to convince, that the Nazis were trying to convince the Western world that actually they are not mistreating the Jews in the concentration camp. That we understood. And we understood that the Requiem should send a message. But I cannot tell you how the group looked, or, I'm sorry, I would be.
Don't be sorry, your recollections are wonderful. Tell us a little bit more about how Rafi worked on the Requiem. Do you remember, just generally, since Terezin, obviously you have remained a music lover, and you've heard other performances of the Verdi. You've seen a lot of conductors, and I wonder if you could describe for me what his style was like, what he looked like as a conductor.
Oh, his whole body was involved. I mean, it wasn't that he would just wave his hands or what. And his face worked. You could see that it was resonating in his head. He was not a handsome man, but when he conducted, I think he had some sort of beauty. It was sort of his insight shining through, But he was so involved. I mean, you could see that. I don't know. It's hard to describe. That he saw the whole thing, not that much. After we were trained well enough, the individuals, that sort of, he would give. They didn't get it.
Set the scene for us at that event. I know it's a long time ago, but the chorus comes in, and tell us what else.
Well, we were chatting and watching if they come, and then we knew we were going to sing Dies Irae, Dies Illa, and perhaps I wasn't perceptive enough, but we were hoping that the Red Cross will see that something is wrong, that this is not a group of people entertaining or what, but I think our feeling was that they didn't get it. That it was orchestrated in such a way by the Nazis, and I think there was no response. I think they saw what the Nazis wanted them to see, and not really. They didn't understand that it is peculiar that this group of Jews is singing Latin. Catholic requiem for the dead. You would have thought they would get it, but I don't think they did.
As you're looking out as a member of the choir, what do you see in the front few rows? I mean, try to describe for us.
Glowing a coal in them. It's by 7 o'clock in the morning. So I started my work at 3 o'clock at night, and as I walked, then I had sleepless nights anyhow, from Terezin to the barracks, to the factory. There was one melody constantly with me. When I felt I couldn't go on any longer, there was the entire Liberame. And to me, it was to be liberated of this kind of life and of this hopeless future with nobody there, no rehearsal there, no Rafi there, and none of our friends there. and it was still connected to the Requiem, which I believe I am today as much connected with it as I was then in my 20s.
Because no one used music,
I believe that an entire life of a human being, and it saved my life because it some way, in a very selfish way, self-centered way, it became part of me. Verdi Requiem is part of me.
we have used the word defiance
Mm-hmm.
about these performances.
Mhm.
What can you tell us about Rafi's idea?
Rafi was the one who actually put the word defiance in connection with music, that this particular music is our way of fighting them. This is our answer. They are doing their horrible thing, and this is what we do. This is what we say.
I think we got it.
Tried very hard to make a musician out of me. He started to teach me to play the piano. And I did make some progress. Unfortunately, and I should have maybe in continuation of his merit continued to play, but I never got a chance after the war. He was a musical godsend to everybody. I don't know how to say it differently. He I don't think the ghetto and the morale and the feeling among the inmates would have been the same without him.
I think we stop right there.